Ash Echoes is a real-time tactical strategy RPG game with anime aesthetic. It have a very unique combat system that is a mix of tower defense and real-time battle. Players will take the role of a director, where you become a commander of a team called Echomancers, utilizing Echomancer's power to save the world. Aside from its unique gameplay, Ash Echoes do a very nice job with its storytelling, presented with fully voiced live 2D characters and really interesting visual, and the most importantly, the characters' art is really stand out and have an amazing design. In this video I will talk about all you need to know about Ash Echoes and also share my thoughts about it. Also, before we continue, a huge shout out to Ash Echoes for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's talk about the Echomancers. Every Echomancers have its own class, element and rarity. There are a total of 7 class, 7 elements and 4 type of rarity. There's a class that excels in defensive such as Bulwark. Class that prioritizes attacking airborne enemies such as Skirmisher. Class that excels in healing and enhancement such as Support. And many more. Ash Echoes also have a build system called Memory Trace. Memory Trace took a form of a picture. Either it's a picture of an Echomancers, a scenery, and many more things. There are a total of 3 type of rarity available, R, SR and SSR. Each Memory Trace have its own unique ability and can increase various stats of Echomancers. In short, you can say that it's the armor, weapon and accessory of this game. Now, let's heads up to the Gacha system. In general, there are 2 type of Gacha banner in Ash Echoes. One for summoning Echomancers, and the other one is for Memory Trace. Like usual Gacha games, there's also other rate-up banner for certain Echomancers and Memory Trace. And a one-time only banner to get guarantee 6 star. You will also get to choose any 6 star after you manage to perform 30 pulls for the first time. Now without further ado, let's do the summoning. The light is indicating the rarity you will get. We get a golden light, that means we get a 5 star. During the 10 pulls, the chances to get a 5 star is actually pretty high, since I always get at least a 5 star, which is very nice. You will also get a guarantee 6 star after performing around 70 pulls. Now we get a red light, that means we finally get a 6 star. Now let's do the summoning on Memory Trace banner. The Gacha is actually not much different from the Echomancer's banner. But there's a feature that I really like. After getting a SSR you will get to choose the next guarantee SSR that you want. The Gacha in this game is actually pretty rewarding and surprisingly generous, since it's not really hard to get a high rarity characters. Now before we get into combat, let's first have a look of the foundation of Ash Echoes combat system. Let's start with combat skill. Every Echomancers have their own basic attack, that explain their type of attack, range, attack speed, and combat traits. Then they also have up to 3 types of skill: active, auto, and seed. Depends on the Echomancers, they can also have both skill as active skill. Auto skill activates on its own, and there's no limitation of usage in battle. Unlike auto skill, active skill need to be cast and have limited number of usage in battle. And there's also a seed skill, that requires to charge before it can be used. Now, still connected to the seed skill, let's see the seed system. When you do a gacha and get a duplicate of the Echomancers you already have, you will get their copies. By using these copies, you can increase their seed skill level and unlock a new trait. Now for the combat system. Before the stage begin, we need to build a team that consists of 8 Echomancers, 4 in the field, and the other 4 as a backup. Also, there's one Echomancer that acts as a leader of the team. The leader is the core of the team build, that will give in various global stats and effect for the team. The objective of Ash Echoes is actually really simple. The terminal here is the main HP of the player. The enemies will try to attack it, and when the terminal health goes down to 0, you lose the game. However, if you're able to keep it safe, and manage to beat all of the enemies before the time runs out, you win the game. At the start of the combat, you can positioning your Echomancers before the battle begin. Only 4 Echomancers will be active, and the rest will stand by as a backup. During the battle, your Echomancers will automatically attack the enemies. Players can control their Echomancer's position and skill activation, simply by pressing the character icon to show what kind of command available. By using the move command, you can move your character to a better position. You can also use skill activation to activate their skill while also move their position. If you need to change the strategy, or your Echomancers dying, you can also swap them with backup Echomancers during mid-battle. Now for their ultimate or seed skill. When it's ready, you can activate it for a powerful effect, simply by pressing the skill icon on the right. Also, a lot of units have a cool cutscene whenever you activate it. Now up to the most important and fun mechanic of this game. Elemental system. In Ash Echoes the battlefield or some Echomancers will allow you to create an elemental zone, such as water, fire, and ice. And if you combine this elemental zone with other elemental attack or another elemental zone, you can create various different reactions. For example, if you combine fire and water, you will create an effect called Vaporized, a steam that will reduce the incoming damage from enemies, really great for defensive strategy. Combine lightning with water to triggers Electrolyze, reducing enemies' attack while also stunning them. Combine fire and lightning to triggers Explosion and do more damage to the enemies. Combine ice and water to triggers Frozen. Another important thing to mention, the terminal that you're supposed to be protect also have its own skill that can be useful in battle, such as summoning attacking drone near the terminal to assist in combat, knocking down enemies' projectiles and flying units, and increasing Echomancer's attack. The terrains or enemies also have a big impact on creating elemental zone. For example, on dry terrain, water zone will evaporate much faster than in wet and normal zone. However, it's much easier to create fire zone in dry terrain. Another example, on wet terrain, ice Echomancers can create ice zone without needing a water zone nearby. So it's important to know what kind of terrain or enemies are you facing. There are tons of things you can do in the battlefield, starting from the positioning, timing of using a skill, combining the element, taking advantage of the terrain and many more, making so much way possible to experiment with different kind of strategy and different team build. Now up to the most crucial things about team building in Ash Echoes. Every time before the battle begin, you always need to choose a leader. This leader, or also called an engraving, will bring an additional status and effect to your team. As example, I'm using Hassel as the leader. You can see the global buff he provide, also with tons of variety skill and effect. In order to become an engraving, an Echomancer must first pass the Echoing Nexus. Echoing Nexus is a Rouge-like game mode where you will interact with tons of events, met different encounters, and a decision-making that ultimately will grant the following buff, skills and status boost that your engraving will get. Starting Echoing Nexus, Select one Echomancer that you wish to become an engraving. Pick an Echomancers with a leader engraving skills that match with the team you try to build, and then equip them with 6 memory traces that will provide different kind of stat and abilities. In this game mode you mainly only control the leader to adventure around, from fight enemies and collecting different buffs. Then you will be asked many times on which stats and buff you want to get. Not only the bonus is useful during an exploration, but the bonus you get from here will also be saved into the engraving, which later you can apply the bonus you get to the whole team for every battle outside of this game mode. And then at the end of the game mode, by using the skill point you have acquired, you will get to choose which skill you want to add into your engraving. Another great thing about this mode is that you can challenge it again, either to test your unit's strength or you simply want to make another different bonus set for the engraving. By having roguelike mode, Ash Echoes bring much new fun dynamic that usually you don't get from the usual gameplay. And since you can freely choose the buff and stat, that means there are tons of possibilities and flexibility on how you want to build the team. So overall I like the game. I love the Echomancer's design and animation, and even for a lower rarity character they still have a unique design. Another thing that I found brilliant is how they handling the combat system. By having an elemental reaction system and global team buff, no matter what rarity, every characters is still useful in battle. And I like how Ash Echoes gives so much freedom to the player to build their own team by having an engraving system that actually opens up to a lot of possibility and fun combination. There are also tons of any other fun feature you can explore, like chatting with your Echomancers, raising their bond by having a valuable tea time, researching new technology for the base, fitness training to strengthen your Echomancer, a sweep mode to collect material faster, full auto in battle which you can still intervene, and so much more. So yeah, I really recommend you to check out this game, and since it's just get a global release recently, you can get a free 200 pulls if you keep sign in for 30 days. The game is available for iOS, Android and PC. You can download the game for free by clicking the link in the description below. Again, thank you so much for Ash Echoes for sponsoring today's video. Anyway, hope you guys find this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and see you guys on the next video.